Welcome to my channel. My name is Ayana. I decided I wanted to try for 2024 to work on being consistent with my channel. I've always wanted to do this. I wanted to share my story, share my life, but I always get discouraged and stop. But for this year, I really plan on being consistent. So I wanted to start off by telling you guys my story and more about me, I guess. I have a disability. It's called Transverse Myelitis, and I've had it since I was 7. I'm 26 now, and I'll be 27 in October, so it'll be about 20 years. 20 years since it happened. I wanted to start off by telling you guys everything that happened, how it happened, how I am today. It's kind of a long story. I'll try and keep it short and sweet and entertaining. My disability is called transverse myelitis. It's an inflammation of the spinal cord, and I was meant to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, paralyzed, but I do still have weakness on my right side. So my right side didn't heal the way that my left side did. So my hand is like this, and then my foot, it's the same way, but I kind of have a little bit more strength in my right leg, but it's still not 100% like my left side. And also, I don't know, you probably can tell already, but like my over here looks different than over here. You see, you can tell by the eyebrows, whatever, don't stare. How it happened was one day, it was the summer of my 2nd grade year of elementary school. My back was hurting really bad, like extremely bad, but I used to carry my brother around, and he was a heavy baby because he was afraid of his shadow, so I would carry him around all the time. And my parents would tell me, you know, stop carrying him around, you're gonna hurt yourself, da 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 da, whatever. So I thought my back was hurting because I had been carrying him around everywhere. That night, it was like really like to the point where I just couldn't bear to be not in bed. So I went to bed early that night, and my sister followed me upstairs after like 15 minutes, and she wanted to watch TV. She asked me to turn the channel for her because she was still young. She's like 3 years younger than me, so she was like a baby basically. She asked me to help her with the TV. I got out of bed and I went to go help her with the TV, and I was trying to press the button on the, because we had like a box TV with the buttons. She asked me to help her with the channel, and when I was trying to press the button, I could not put pressure on the buttons. Like my finger was going like this every single time. Like I was trying to press, but every time I would try and press, it would go like this. And I was like, oh hell no, something is wrong. So I was like, you know what, I have to go downstairs, like I need to talk to mom. So I got up off the floor, and when I was trying to go downstairs, I couldn't open the door. Like I went to the doorknob, and my hand was like, it wouldn't close on the doorknob. It was just like, by this time I was freaking out. I was like crying. I was like, dude, come open the door. I need to go downstairs. I can't open the door. She was like, what's wrong? I was like, I don't know, open the door. So she opened the door, and I went downstairs and sat on the couch, and I was crying. I was like, mom, like I was telling her my story. I can't press the buttons. I can't open the door. Something's wrong. My back hurts really bad. I don't know what's going on. And my mom, she was a young mom, and I was her first child. So she didn't really know what was going on. Like anyone would. Like it was strange. Like you don't really expect things like this to happen, because like I was a normal kid. Like I would run around the neighborhood with my friends. I would be doing gymnastics, cheerleading with them. Like I was normal until that night. So anyways, she was pacing back and forth. She was like, I don't know what to do. Like, do you want to take medicine? Do you want to go to the hospital? I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I want to do. Just please, like, it hurts so bad. So finally she decided to take me to the hospital, which thank God she did, because if she hadn't, then I would probably be paralyzed. When she was getting ready to take me to the hospital, by that time I couldn't get off the couch. I was paralyzed at that point. I couldn't walk anymore, so she had to carry me to the car, and I was in so much pain. Honestly, I don't really remember much. I do remember being in the car, and I was watching out the window, and I was looking at all the hospitals we were passing, but she wanted to take me to like a good hospital anyways. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what's going on. And I remember my mom told me that I told her I was in pain, like I was in a lot of pain. So we finally got to the hospital, and of course my mom had to carry me into the hospital, and we were sitting in the waiting room, and they wouldn't take us back because there was I remember it was so many people in there. So many people. Everybody was sick. There was so much coughing, and it was kind of gross. No offense. Yeah, we were sitting in the waiting room for a long time. My mom was trying to get me back there. They're like, my daughter can't walk. Like, we need to get somebody to take care of her because she cannot walk. And they didn't believe her. They thought she had Munchausen syndrome, or I had Munchausen syndrome. They thought we were faking it. Yeah. Finally, they decided to take us back. And we were sitting in the back room. I remember laying on that little bed, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, take this pain away. And they were trying to scare me because, like I said, they thought we were faking. And they were like, you know, because they needed me to, like, pee, and I couldn't pee. Literally, like, I couldn't. It would not come out of me. So they were like, you know, like, if you don't pee, we're gonna have to give you a catheter, and it's gonna hurt really, really bad. And I was like, okay, I'll try to pee again. And I couldn't. So they had to give me a catheter. And then they took my temperature and my blood pressure, and it was all high. And they're like, oh shit, she's not faking. We're gonna transfer you to the children's hospital. I remember being in the back of the ambulance, and I was like, oh my God. And my mom was just sitting there, and she was crying. I feel so bad. She was just crying. She was like, oh my gosh, like, what's going on? Like, is she gonna be okay? Is she gonna die? Like, what's going on? And so they took me to the hospital, and it took them a long time to figure out what was wrong with me. They didn't know. They thought I had multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, I think, and a bunch of other stuff. Don't really remember much, obviously. But anyways, yeah, they didn't know what was going on. And then finally they came up with the diagnosis of transverse myelitis. It's very rare, and they don't know what causes it. They said it could have been a vaccination or a bug bite that turned into this. They don't know what was going on. And they said that I would probably be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, and that I would never, you know, be able to use my body functions ever again. But by the grace of God, I can. Like, it's really crazy how different my life could have been whether it didn't happen to me or if it, like, fully happened. Like, if I just wasn't able to get out of that bed, like, my life would be so different. And I'm truly grateful for the life that I have. And you know, I appreciate my family so much because, you know, that night that happened, I don't know where my dad was. I think he was in Louisiana or something on a work trip. But, like, he drove all the way from whatever state he was in back to Texas when he found out I was in the hospital. They were taking care of me, you know. I love the children's hospital. Like, from what I remember, my experience there was pretty good. All the doctors took care of me. All my family, we all prayed together all the time. It was what I needed, honestly. And I really do, like, I give all grace to God because it could have been so much worse. And I remember, like, growing up with this disability, and I would look for other people to relate to on, like, social media, like YouTube. I would be all over YouTube and be like, oh, I just want to see someone who's like me, you know. I want to see someone who's going through the same things I'm going through and how they're dealing with it and how they are. And I could never find anything. So that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this, because I want to be someone that other people can relate to. That's my story. I do have a video already explaining this, but it was when I was like 18. I'm 27 now, so I'm not any better at doing this, but you know, that's all. I hope that you enjoyed this, I guess.